People always assume that the trickiest sailing is offshore in the middle of the ocean. And this can sometimes be true when you come across a string of bad storms or something breaks and needs repair with only what you have on board. However, we enjoy the open ocean where there are no obstacles to maneuver around, except for the occasional ship. But as we draw nearer to the coast of Brazil, there's going to be plenty of things to hit. The navigation is about to get interesting. Tell us what we're seeing here, Curtis.
So we've got a line of fishing nets and a boat which is dropping them in. Kate just figured out that this word boia means float. The Amelia 1 is a fishing boat, and he has all of these things like Amelia, boa 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So I think he's dropping these AIS marked fishing nets. Definitely want to avoid those, and if we were sailing to them, go all the way around the ends of them to not risk getting caught in them. You know, think about it, if a freighter were to run over their net, that would pretty much ruin their day. And then what if they lost their net? I'm pretty sure they set these nets adrift and then they just let them drift, and then they just pick up whatever they pick up, and then they grab both ends and close them at the end or something like that, and then they scoop them all up. So I think they're called drift nets, which aren't necessarily the best ecological type of fishing, at least to my knowledge. Yeah, that's how they do it.
You're already on high alert when you're getting closer to shore, but you are even more so when sailing at night. So when the radar alarm goes off and there's nothing to see anywhere around you, you start to get a bit worried. I headed out into the cockpit to have a look around when I noticed two glowing eyes staring back at me from on top of the radar. Some birds had found a place to rest on top of the radar and solar panels, which unfortunately was not allowing us to do so by constantly setting off the false alarm. We eventually had to shoo them away so they wouldn't damage any wires and so that our radar could work properly. Perhaps all of these alarms were a sign of things to come. Cooking on board while under passage is always unique. I'm always looking for extra ways to conserve water. For example, I'll use boiled water from my potatoes or pasta to also boil some eggs. Potatoes and eggs last a long time for a long passage such as this one. We're also lucky to keep some protein in the freezer, such as chicken as well as bacon. However, we're getting so close to shore I can almost taste the fresh food.
Hi, what you doing? Yeah, you want to pump some diesel?
Well, we've motored for about a total of 40 hours and we are
almost 3 weeks in. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks. And so there's light air, and we are doing some mid-ocean refueling. We've got 30 gallons of jerry cans here that we are topping off our tank. Now is as good a time as any because there's no waves coming over the side, splashing into the tank. So just enjoying these wispy clouds in this beautiful day and refueling before we continue on our journey. There's probably enough wind to sail, but at this angle, we tried putting the spinnaker up, and even if the jib was pulled out, there's just not enough breeze to keep them full and keep us moving. And there's too much wave action. The sails are just going to flop as well, and there's not going to be a whole lot of forward momentum. And there'll be a lot of wear and tear on the deck hardware with the sails slatting. So we are going to take this opportunity to motor. Wind should fill in tonight, batteries will be charged, and we'll be good to go. We have to play charades now because Curtis lost his voice yelling at the birds that were landing on the solar panels and radar the other night. So now we communicate with our made-up sign language. It's going pretty good so far. Some of his facial expressions are pretty severe. I'm not sure if I like yelling Curtis more or if I like sign language Curtis more, but no, I'm just kidding. Oh, let's play charades. Slam the clutch down, slam the clutch down, okay. Furl. Head left, head to port, head to starboard. Really go to starboard. Walk like an Egyptian. It's been pretty good. A few sail changes and stuff here and there, and we're working together real nice. It's fun double handing. It's so much fun. Alright, that's it everybody. The last jerry can is in. Hopefully the wind will fill in later today as it is supposed to, and we can go for another rip. We'll put these cans back away. It's been pretty tough conditions for me with seasickness and energy-wise in this trip, but we'll do what we can. So now we're all fueled up and ready to go.
We prefer to keep the deck as clear as possible, and so we store the jerry cans down below. That means squeezing into the garage to put them away. When you've got nothing to do but focus on sailing, it's not too bad, until that radar alarm goes off again. As we get closer to shore, it's about to get a whole lot busier. Yeah. Oh. As it got later in the day, the wind did indeed fill in, and with it, it brought a little bit of rain. We don't mind another good deck rinse, especially in these warmer conditions. But as the sun was setting, we knew the night would be a bit restless as we grew closer to the busy Brazilian coastal highway full of oil rigs and big ships. 3 weeks into our trip, and we were going to need to work together to navigate through the darkness.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling this heavy load got under your skin. All in, you got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey.
It's a bittersweet feeling as we get closer to shore, as we are excited to experience new cultures, taste fresh food, and finally stop the feeling of rocking back and forth. But also we will miss the smell of the salty ocean air, the freedom and tranquility of focusing only on the task at hand, and facing the unknown obstacles that we know we will overcome together. With the journey almost to an end, and Sweet Ruca feeling a bit tired, we headed into the night ready to navigate the busy sea. Well, at least we were. Roxy was ready to be off shift and head for bed.
You're so good.
You comfy, Roxy?
Yourself down. Why? Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the layers of your doubts, there's a heart.
First in the night, we came across a 623-foot cargo ship that was drifting slowly in the current with a status of under no command. This means that the ship is unable to keep out of the way of another vessel because under some great circumstance, it cannot move itself. She was floating slowly in our direction, and Curtis made sure to navigate us safely in these early morning hours.
Good morning, everybody. It is about 6 a.m. UTC, and we are headed through the Campos oil fields here in Brazil. I'm losing my voice a little bit because I was yelling at some birds to scare them off the solar panels. But it's pretty crowded here. We got a lot going on. There's a lot of current. There's a lot of breeze. There's some good-sized waves, if you can't tell that I'm moving around. And we'll try and show you what's going on here, and hopefully you can see some stuff. There's enough light up above to be able to see. We're about to get buzzed by a 1,000-foot cruise ship, and we're going past a couple of oil production platforms and tanker ships, so it'll be kind of cool. That's the alarm to make sure that I wake up so we don't hit anything. Obviously I'm awake now, and I've got my coffee going. Alright, I'll show you what's going on here on the charts and what we're up to. Okay, as you can see, we are off the coast of Brazil, and we'll go ahead and zoom in. You can see the black line is our route that we're taking south of Rio de Janeiro, and where we are right now is we're just going through right here to pass by this cape. And if we zoom in a little more, you'll see all these little AIS things around us over here, and then down here is another giant oil field as well. So that is it. So we're just going to kind of come right down through here and around there, but we don't want to go in that at all. That's actually a restricted area that we're not allowed to enter. All right, and we're just getting a dangerous target now, and let's click on it. Things are moving around quite a bit in the waves. MSC Seaside. You can see he is a 1,060-foot passenger ship. So he seems like a cruise ship, and his current CPA is 0.61. I've seen him go as little as 0.59 miles, so I think he's going to pass probably roughly around 1 mile from us, which is pretty close for a big ship like that. So let's go upstairs and see what's going on around us. Ignore. Yay! right. MSC Seaside, MSC Seaside. Sailing vessel Sweet Ruca, over.
Sailing vessel Sweet Ruca, MSC Seaside.
1-3.
1-3.
Morning, Captain. SV Sweet Ruca. Just wondering if you see us and you're happy with our course, or you want us to head up a little bit.
Sweet Ruca, MSC Seaside. Nick, we're happy with your course. We are going to alter our course to starboard and overtake you on your starboard side. Over.
Copy that. We will hold our course. If you need anything else, we will be standing by in 1-6. Thank you, Cap.
Thank you for your cooperation. Back to 1-6. MSC Seaside.
Okay, so now they're going to change course to take us on the starboard side rather than from behind. So this will be interesting. We were going to give them room to go behind us because that's where they were headed. So we'll see how this goes. It's pretty close for a 1,000-footer to be doing these things. All right, let's go upstairs. Hang on. It's a little rocky and rolly. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see the big cruise ship behind us. That is the MSC Seaside, and he's coming up and going to pass us pretty close on our starboard side over here. And then behind me, oil platforms, which are just check out our clouds over there.
So far, we had made it safely navigating the oil fields and large ships off the coast of Brazil. The question still remained of where we would make landfall now that we had some repairs to do. Stay tuned.
You in a good mood? Yeah? You smiling? Yeah.